Trump administration has created a task force to look at violence against American Indian and Alaskan Native women. Mr. Trump says it should have been done a long time ago. But some Native women say the president has asked the very agencies whose negligence helped facilitate the violence to investigate their very own shortcomings. Sophie Long has been speaking to women and families who are all too aware of the problem. Here's her report.
The words they sing, the drums they beat, honour the women and girls lost from their community, the murdered and missing Indigenous women of Alaska. Marianne Alexie was 32 when she was last seen in October 2012. Laurie D. Wilson was 31 years old when she went missing in 2016. Tracy Day was 43 when her daughter last saw her in February last year. They're just a few of the thousands of Native women who've gone missing across the United States and who have never been found. Ashley Johnson Barr was just 10 years old when she was last seen. She was found, dead, here in a vast meadow just a few miles from the home in Kotzebue she shared with her 6 siblings. Her father now worries for his other children.
Just want to say sorry to her and stuff like that, you know. And
what do you want to say sorry for?
Not being there for her, not protecting her. As a parent, not protecting her.
Scotty takes me to the place Ashley had been playing with her friends. 8 excruciatingly long days later, his worst fears were confirmed.
And then they told the search parties not to search no more. And there's this young boy that was 21, that was his first time searching for anybody. He was the first one to go and identify her. And they found her in a small trench.
Ashley had been sexually assaulted and murdered. At a tribal gathering in the state capital, there are shocking stories revealing the prevalence of violence against girls and women in Native communities here.
In my family, I'm a family of 8 siblings, and out of all 8 of us, there were 7 of us who were molested and raped. And to me, standing up and being dressed the way I'm dressed, my handprints on, showing that I'm going to end the silence here today.
There's not one of my sisters that I don't know that hasn't experienced some sort of violence, some sort of either domestic abuse, rape, sexual assault. It runs the gamut, molestation for children. So it's highly prevalent in my opinion.
The epidemic of abuse spans far beyond remote communities. Native women are at risk in urban centres too.
You can be standing here.
Anita Lucchese has compiled a database documenting the thousands of missing women and girls across North America.
Law enforcement in this country has a very deep culture of racism, a very deep culture of sexism, and that kind of good old boys mentality is really strong. We see that in law enforcement in all different levels and all different states, and it creates this kind of intergenerational legacy within departments that allows for that kind of violence to flourish.
It's an incredibly serious allegation, and I would say uniformly there's absolutely no basis for that belief. While we do come from different cultures and backgrounds, the FBI, particularly in Indian country, spends a great deal of time forging relationships with the Native communities there.
Understanding the cause of this epidemic of abuse is complicated. Its causes are complex, but the voices of the women gathered here are now starting to be heard.
There has been a somewhat dismissive attitude. If it is a Native woman that has gone missing, well, you know, maybe she's just out and about. Maybe she brought it upon herself. That is absolutely unacceptable anywhere at any time.
And this is where everybody came, you know, Senator Murkowski.
Ashley's abduction and death did stir hearts across the United States. A 41-year-old man has been charged with her murder. Her father can hope that he might see some kind of justice.
I tried my whole life for her to go and live her own life to become who she was, who she could have been.
Hundreds of others, though, continue to wonder where their daughters are and fear what could have happened to them. Sophie Long, BBC News, Kotzebue, Alaska.
The epidemic